What's up, everybody? It's CMP with Craftmaster Productions and Studio1Tutorials.com, and today we're going to be getting into some advanced melody work. Real quick, if you guys haven't been by the site and picked up Bag Up Volume 2, it is stems, templates, and Studio 1.3 project files. It also comes with all of the MIDI, and it comes with all the stems, obviously. So it's 6 beats that I had made earlier in the year with the intent of placing, with the intent on selling. So it's no slack material. It is, my best shot at making a fire beat, and now I'm giving it to you guys. You can break them down, analyze them, sample them, flip them, reverse them, use the chord progressions, use the melodies, whatever you guys want to do with them. Bag Up Volume 2 on Studio1Tutorials.com. Don't forget to get your premium membership. It is 50 cents a day. Now, today we are back in Studio One, and I'm sure that makes a lot of you all happy. We're going to be looking at some advanced melody work here. Let's see, which one do I want to use? Anyway, basically what we're going to be going over is how to take an instrument. Like I'm going to be using the Nexus preset, the grand piano, and then from there I'm going to build a chord progression, a melody, some upper harmonizing notes and things like that, and then breaking it down into its own separate tracks, layering and just making a full lush thick soundscape that you can build an entire track out of. And this is a really popular style of writing, especially with musicians. I have a friend who plays, pretty much every instrument. His favorite instrument is bass. He's a reggae artist, and I watched him. The guy doesn't have a lot of money. He was a school teacher when he was putting together this album, and he wasn't putting together an album like I'm gonna go into my bedroom and create an album. Like he was paying for studio time, professional mix, working with a real band. Nothing clicked in the box. Like they had to play all the shit live. He was writing every piece of music and then giving it to the musicians. So a 4-piece band. Sometimes he would bring in 3 horn players, so sometimes as many as 8-10 pieces in there. And all that was to say was he was writing this shit on a Casio keyboard. Like when he was showing me the parts of the songs, all the melodies, the bass lines and everything, he was playing it on like a rinky-dink Casio keyboard, living with his brother and another couple in a 2-bedroom apartment. And he was able to create an entire band's worth of music and then delegate it with just a Casio keyboard. So my version of the Casio keyboard is corny ass Nexus, right? So in the spirit of Southwood today, we're going to be using the Casio keyboard of the VST world, right? And what I'm gonna do is I like to start off writing in D minor, and the reason why I like to start off writing in D minor is because typically I don't just click things in. Typically I use my MIDI keyboard, and it is a scale that I remember. So for you guys that don't have scale quantized features, if you're using FL Studio or another DAW that might not have it at this point, the first thing I want to tell you guys is you want to use a scale that you're familiar with. If you want to work in the minor scale, a life hack is just use the white key starting with A, and you'll be fine. But like I said, I'm gonna start with D minor. All right, and I'm just going to draw in a quick easy chord progression. You know what? I'm not even gonna do a chord progression. I'm gonna start. I don't want to start this. I think I want to do something like this. I'm just gonna get the rhythm of the first melody, right? All right, let me turn the speed up. All right, cool. So I'm holding Shift and Control to move the notes like this. Let me see. That's pretty tough. All right, so when you're working with melodies, interval is important. If you guys are familiar with interval, go to studio1tutorials.com and check out the music theory section. All of the stuff that I'm getting ready to talk about very quickly in this YouTube tutorial, you can get more information over there. Studio1tutorials.com, music theory. Now, aside from interval, you need rhythm to create a full type of track. You need varying time signatures and various rhythms to make something that sounds complete. So right now my primary melody is moving in half notes. All right, so I'm going to program something in eighth notes that will kind of complement what we have going on here. From a just from a theory standpoint, we're going from the sixth note to the fifth note to the fourth note. So we've got we've got what I've called, we're kind of working top down. I don't have I'm not referencing the tonic of the scale or anything right now. So I think I'm gonna start with that and kind of pull this together, see what I get out here. Alright, I like that. I like the way that feels. So I'm just gonna go and holding down Alt to drag it over here. And then the way this moves, you see what that sounds like. Yeah. All right, cool. Now I'm gonna start working on some lower notes. Let's see what happens when I throw a couple of these. These are the root notes of the scale. D. Let me see what happens if I make them actual chords. Sometimes sometimes this works and sounds good, sometimes it doesn't. I like it. I like the way this wraps up over here. It makes it sound kind of weird and tense. Tense is gonna wind up sounding aggressive. see if I could do anything on top. See what happens if I just have a sustained D across this. Yeah, see, that's all right. So, you know, we've got a pretty, obviously nothing, you know, nothing groundbreaking here, but it's definitely a little bit more, you know, more advanced than, you know, just if you were to go into it with the mentality of, oh, I'm going to draw some chords and then putting together some block chords, or, oh, I'm going to draw a melody, so I just draw this melody, or, oh, you know, I'm going to just draw this melody. So you've got what you're looking at here is, this is kind of like the harmonic base of your song. I mean, you could take it one step further, you know, throw bass notes in it, right? Yeah. Why not? All right, so that in it by itself, you know, put an 808 on, you know, your hi-hat rolls, your signature drums, and that would be, you know, maybe that would be a good beat for you. That's not a good beat for me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, you know, a step further and start going into some sound design. The first thing I'm going to do is this melody right here. Like I want this I want this shit to sound cool, right? So what are the cool kids doing nowadays? I'm gonna leave one over here just so that I can have you know, an unbothered MIDI file to go back to. So I'm gonna get rid of all these, right? And just have this. Oh, this is the one I affected. Whoops. So just have this. Alright, so I'm going to control B this, start working in audio, and set this to 1 bar. Just, I fucking hate it when that doesn't work. Studio One, tighten up, bro. I was trying to split it grid. Alright, so now that these are separate, I can go in and control R them. Get something sounding a little cooler. Alright, while we're working in audio, we won't want to deal with clicks and pops, so let's go audio. Let's go to create crossfades. Better. Much better. Alright, so I got a decent little sound right here. You know what I forgot? Show you guys. Once you know, if you have your scale that you're familiar with, I like working in D because I know what it sounds like. I know what the chords sound like, but sometimes, you know, you could transpose things up or down. Here. Yeah, see, that sounds a lot cooler to me. So I'm gonna drop this back into D sharp minor, and no fear with the MIDI, you know, because we have so many dope tools available to us. So I have all these highlighted. I'll just transpose it up one, bounce this section. Now everything's all cross-faded and transposed. Alright, cool. I like that. We get, you want to fuck with the sound design. That is what's important here. So let's get, let's make this sound dope. Let's push ourselves here. We got let me turn this up so you guys can hear it too. There you go. Guitar rig is always good for shit like this, man. Want to get some ambiance in it. All right, see, that's dope. Now we got, now we got some air on it. we got a cool chorus effect on it. That's nice. Now I want to go. I'm gonna go into this. I'm gonna go into Omnisphere, and I just want to hit these right now. Let's go to Ethnic World. The fuck is Echoes of Istanbul? Maybe it'll be something cool. Alright, that sounds pretty dope. I'm gonna keep that. Go ahead and Control B that out. Alright. That's dope. Now these top notes. What can I do with these top notes? I think I'm gonna go back to Omnisphere for those top notes. And you see, like, if you notice what I'm doing, I'm kind of going octave by octave and picking, like, kind of assigning different instruments to different octaves, right? So let's see here. Let's see. I want to get something just kind of creepy that'll work in that octave. A lot of the Omnisphere sounds don't really sound too cool above C5. Yeah, see, I like that kind of tucked back there. You know, not every sound has to be jumping right out front at you. All right, so that's that. See, now you got now you got a nice body to it. Speaking of body, we'll go ahead and add these chords in. I'll go ahead and use another Omnisphere for this. Probably just stay fucking with the Keyscape Creative library. All right. Trippy. So let's take this guy, let's control B him. Ooh, missing the first one. Alright, now let's see what we got. And I got that cool sounding choir. I'm gonna stack that with a really fucking shitty, cheesy sounding choir, which is a good sound design technique, man, and it's a very commonly slept on one. Is you take a really cool sound, a really nice, like, awesome sound, and then slap a really corny ass version of that sound underneath it, and just kind of mix the two of them together and make it fuller. See what I'm saying? Let's pull this back a little bit. Hey, just tuck it back there. Alright, now I want to go back to this melody, the main melody that we have. Moving, I want to, again, in the spirit of sound design and making things sound cool and original, I'm going to take I might leave those on top. Let's go to keyboards. Let's go to drifting keys. See how now we have this, we have this nice bed that we kind of created, and typically you might go into, if you watch other tutorials, and typically the first thing you might do is just go in and make this one melody, pick out a cool patch of Omnisphere, put it 808 underneath it, then you're done. When you do it this way, you have so much more of a sonic palette to work with, that instead of making X, producer X's type of beat. Now you can really get into, making your own type of beat, because you could still use the techniques that you find in them type of videos, but now you can kind of decide which sounds in your VSTs that you like to kind of make the backdrop, and then boom, put the put whatever the fucking preset of the moment is over top of it. Now you're starting to create something original. These high notes, I think I'm gonna leave them up in the same octave. Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what I'm gonna do is because this is such a good VST with the multi samples, we could turn down the velocity on that. Yeah. Yep, I like that. All right, so we'll bounce that. See right here how I'm kind of like missing the reverb tail coming out of that. I don't like that, so I'm gonna go ahead and just duplicate this, merge it together, and press Control B, bounce it down. All right. Drop this back to the band bus. If you guys are, looking at my routing, not knowing what I'm doing, go to my template tutorial. It's on the playlist on, on my main page. Alright, so now I have all that. I'm gonna go into Electra. Because Electra is good for this shit. Let me just find a pad. Just a regular simple pad. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use the full harmony with the melody, the bass note and everything, and I'm gonna throw that over everything that I got now, and I'm gonna tuck it back in the mix, and just keep on adding more and more harmonic content to this soundscape that we're building. What's crazy is, a person might be tempted to just use that. I'm gonna raise that bass note up a little bit. We'll drop a little EQ for this too, because it doesn't need to be so bright. Yeah, see, that's way too bright. See, I want that piano to stay the main focus of the track, so I don't want to drown out the highs with this kind of saw pad. Yeah. I'm just kind of filling out the frequency right there. And now, you know, we go ahead and take something. Let's take something from Future MIDI just to show you guys how easy it could be. Let's see what this sounds like with the mask off drums. Right. Sharp, right? Yeah. Let's go ahead and duplicate this out so you can really hear it. You know, and then from here, since you have all of this harmonic content together, you know, I mean, dude, like arranging the track becomes just something that's super simple. Like here, you just kind of go into things. So you might not use that in the intro. You might not use that on the first 4 bars, and you might not use this at all. Quick as that. It's real easy, really easy to put tracks together. Even if you're a drums first guy, you go ahead and make the drums first. But creating melodies and counter melodies, and just interesting harmonic content. It's really easy to do it when you start with one instrument that the sound of inside and out. You know how it sounds. You know how to get how to get a sad sound out of it. You know how to get an aggressive sound out of it. You know how to get a positive sound out of it. You know how to get a spooky sound out of it. And you could go ahead and just stack as much harmonic content as you can into one MIDI region, and then from that, make your plan of putting different instruments in different octaves, and then maybe even reverse something, do some sound design, really get into it, make it your own, and then you could come back and use that original instrument and throw it on top of everything that you did, and wind up like just for fun. I'll bet if we threw this piano on top of it, it still sound hot, so you guys can see what I mean. See what I mean? And it makes it even more powerful at that point. Or if you don't want to use it at all, you don't have to use it at all, as is evidenced by what I showed you guys. Yeah, man. So at the end of the day, grab what instrument that you know inside and out. Set your scale, quantize, keep it simple, don't be basic. If you have questions on music theory, if you're looking for the drum MIDI that I used in this tutorial, just go to studio1tutorials.com, get your premium membership, or get a hold of the Future MIDI drums. It's $9.99 for 15 drum MIDIs that are tempo mapped, and you will recognize the song titles from famous Future songs. Again, keep it simple, don't be basic, and we will see you on the next one.